You ever hear a story that seems, really simple on the outside, but when you dig into it, it holds this deep, kind of challenging truth? Well, today, we're going to dive into a short, ancient parable that does exactly that. It's a story about angels, sure, but it's really about judgment and all the hidden things happening just beneath the surface of our lives.
At its core, this story forces us to ask a really tough question. One that, let's be honest, we've all probably asked ourselves when things just don't seem fair at all. It's this question that sets up the whole paradox we're about to get into.
All right, so our story follows two angels. You've got a wise senior angel and his younger companion, who kind of takes things a little more at face value. They're disguised as simple travelers, just looking for a place to stay. But what happens over just 2 nights is going to completely flip the younger angel's view of how the world works.
So, on their first night, they show up at this huge mansion owned by a super wealthy family. But instead of a warm welcome, they're met with just coldness. The family won't even let them stay in a proper guest room. Nope, they point them to a cold, hard basement for the night. So, as they're trying to get comfortable down there, the senior angel spots a hole in the basement wall. And then he does something really weird. He takes the time to carefully repair it, making the wall perfect again. The younger angel is just standing there, totally confused. I mean, why would you help these people who were so awful to them?
And when the junior angel finally asks why, the senior angel just gives this simple, cryptic answer. This is the first time we hear this line, and it is the key to this entire story. It just hangs in the air with no explanation as they get up and leave the next morning.
The second night, well, it couldn't be more different. And this is where the story really starts to mess with our sense of what's fair and what's right.
They arrive at this tiny, humble home of a very poor farmer and his wife. And these two, without a second of hesitation, share the little bit of food they have. And then they insist that the travelers take their own beds for the night, while they themselves sleep on the floor. Just incredible kindness.
And I mean, the difference between these two hosts is just staggering, right? You have the rich family, totally inhospitable, gave them nothing but a cold basement. Then you have the poor couple, incredibly welcoming, shared literally everything they had, even their own bed. The contrast is just black and white.
So, you'd think the kind couple gets rewarded, right? That's how it's supposed to work. Well, that is not what happens. The next morning brings something that feels like a cruel joke, and it pushes the junior angel right to his breaking point.
When the angels wake up, they find the couple just weeping. Their only cow, the one thing they had, their only source of income from its milk, is lying dead in the barn. It's a total catastrophe for them. They're ruined.
And the junior angel just explodes. He turns to the senior angel and he voices the exact question that's burning in all of our minds. He just lays it all out, the injustice of it all, and demands to know why. How could this possibly happen? And the senior angel, he just calmly repeats the exact same line from the night before. But this time it feels so different, doesn't it? It's not just a mysterious little saying anymore. It's a frustrating, almost infuriating answer to a real tragedy. But it's also the last clue before the big reveal. And this is the moment. This is where the entire story flips on its head. The senior angel finally explains what was really going on behind his actions. He explains that there were 2 hidden truths, one for each night of their journey. First, the secret of the wall he repaired. And second, the much, much deeper secret of the cow he let die. So the senior angel explains, when we were in that cold basement, I saw that there was a hoard of gold hidden in that hole in the wall. And because the owner was so greedy, so unwilling to share anything, I sealed up the wall so he would never, ever find it. So see, fixing the wall wasn't a reward, it was the opposite. It was preventing greed from being rewarded.
But the secret of the second night, wow, this is way more profound. The angel says, last night while we slept in the farmer's bed, the angel of death came for the farmer's wife, and I offered him the cow instead. The death of the cow wasn't a punishment at all, it was a sacrifice. It was an act of salvation that saved a truly good and kind person's life. And for the third and final time, the senior angel says his phrase. Only now it's not a mystery. It's a profound truth. What looked like a gift to the rich was really a denial of treasure. And what looked like an absolute tragedy for the poor was in fact a miracle.
So what does this ancient story have to tell us today? Well, it's really a lesson in perspective, isn't it? It's all about recognizing the limits of what we know and the possibility that there's a much bigger picture that we just can't see.
The story suggests that what looks like a terrible setback might actually be saving you from something far worse. A door that closes might be redirecting you away from danger. It's about having a little trust that there's a bigger plan, a hidden logic, even when it makes no sense to us. The bottom line is, what we perceive, it isn't always the full story.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to take away from all this. It's a really challenging idea for sure, but it's worth thinking about. The next time you're facing a setback or a loss, just ask yourself, what if it isn't what it seems? What if, in some way you can't see, it's actually a cow being offered in your place?